Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're back with the Razor E300. Got another modification I'm going to make to it. I went and purchased this throttle off of Amazon. And the reason I got it was mainly because it has this voltmeter on it here. It's also got a variable throttle on it that you can turn. And so the throttle that's on this, that comes with it, it's a switch. It turns it on or it turns it off. It's on or off. And this one's got a variable throttle, so it kind of works like a motorcycle. So you twist it, and as you twist it, you'll get power. And when you look online on it, when I got it, it's got a couple of different wires that come with it here. Here's the wires actually that it comes in right here, this black one. I've already fed it down through here and kind of added it in with the rest of the wires, and then fed it through the body of the scooter here. Comes out here. It's got this blue and yellow wire on it. The blue wire is a positive. Actually, no, the yellow wire is a positive wire. So power going in, and the blue wire is power coming out. And so when you hook those up, that connects your key lock up here. And so what I ended up doing is, this scooter's already got a switch on it down here. So I went after the switch. So the switch still works. You turn on the switch there. And then after the switch, I hooked it into, this is coming off the switch, and this is going up to the controller, into the controller. So this basically is kind of breaking the link between that switch and the controller box. So right now, the scooter actually won't go, even though it's turned on, because my key switch isn't turned on. But if I turn on my key switch, then I actually will have power. I can actually make it go here. Let me tilt it down. So it'll run, right? But if I turn off the key switch, no power up here, still got power down there. But if I turn it, it's not gonna go, right? I'm turning the knob, it's not going. So that was the first thing I had to figure out, was to how they hook these wires in. I think that's how I'm going to do it. So it kind of makes the key switch, you know, actually be realistic. So if I take the keys out of here and walk away, nobody could actually operate this at this point, even if they turn the power on down there. But to me, that's a secondary reason to actually have this throttle. The real reason I bought this throttle is so that I could have the voltmeter on it. As you guys know, when we've been out driving the scooter, I don't ever really know how much power I have left. Right now it's 26.6, and that's after the last time I actually drove the scooter. I think I drove around one of the lakes the last time I did it, and I haven't fully charged it back up yet. But now with this, I'll be able to tell how much power I've got, and so we can take a voltage chart online, and we can tell how much power we have left in the batteries, all the way from 28 volts all the way down to 24 volts is what we should see as we're riding it. And then it'll tell us whether we have 80% or 60% or 30% left. And in order to get this to start working, the next thing we had to hook up was we had to take the black wire from the other pieces of wire that came off that throttle, and we have to hook that to the negative on the battery. And when you hook that up, then you get the true reading up here of what the actual value is, the 26.6. The last two pieces of wires on here are for the variable throttle. There's a signal wire here that's green, and then there's a 5+ volt wire here that's red. What I didn't realize when I first hooked this up, once I hook these two things to power for the key lock, the whole throttle body has power up here. And so now there's already power at that red there. And then the green is what they call a signal you would hook back up to the controller. What I've discovered on this controller though is that it doesn't have the ability to really take that signal. It's either on or off. And so I found that I really can't use the variable part of this setup. So I ended up tearing this thing apart. And I think it was only like 15 bucks on Amazon. So I wasn't too concerned about tearing it up, but I took it apart. Now I'll show you here. I can actually take this off because it's kind of sitting here right now. and I cut this piece off with a hacksaw. I just sliced it off of here. I took this all apart first to see what this looked like inside of it. And it's just a big plastic piece on there, and it has another piece that's connected onto this that I cut off that kind of sends the signal down with a metal slide on it. So I basically just cut that off with a hacksaw, and then I bolted this back onto the scooter here using an Allen wrench back here, right? So I slid that onto the bar, and then I took this off first, slid it off by loosening this bolt here, slid that one on the handlebars, then slid the second one on the handlebars, tightened those down, and I've still got this piece here that I'm going to end up putting back on here. I think it's a little loose right now, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably just wrap this with some electrical tape to kind of break it out a little bit so that when this slides on, it'll stay and won't move around. And then that'll really be it, other than, you know, down there I've got the wires where I want them right now. I'm going to tape them up. Ultimately, I'm going to solder them and then tape them and see how it goes. So here's what I was talking about. I'm going to take this off of here. Slide this off of here. So you can see right here where I cut it. I cut off this one. So this is how this used to be. This piece used to be on there. Take this all the way off. Hang it there. So this used to be on here, right? Connected inside of this. And then it had a spring that was on it. Was like that, and then the throttle of this piece was, and then this piece was connected on there, so it's all one big thing, right? So I just cut it off right here with the hacksaw, and when I cut it off, the spring fell out of it. You get this piece here. This is the metal piece I was talking about that kind of gives you a connection to send a signal down off of that other green wire. So I went ahead and just put this here, and then I'm going to put the regular twist throttle on it, and then I'm going to hook up my regular piece like that, and then we'll get it put back together and we'll take it out for a ride. But that's all there really was to it. That's all I really wanted to do, was to really get that voltmeter on there, right? That was the biggest piece. Get that voltmeter on there so I could see how far I've gone. And so I'll know when I'm, you know, halfway out of power, and I probably should turn around and head back the other direction. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this back up, and maybe we'll take it for a ride here a little bit and see how this works, how this drops. It's kind of a rainy day out here today, which is great because we need the rain. But maybe we can ride in the rain and not get wet, too wet. So there we go. We got 26.2 right now. We'll see if I can do this one-handed. Hit this bump here. Oh, that was a big bump. And see, now I'm at 22.5, kind of going up the hill here, and it's just dragging. And 22.5 is pretty low on this batteries. It should be about 24, right? When they're no more. I'm in the middle of a thunderstorm right here, guys. So I'm just taking it for a quick spin around the house here. Now we're at 25.9 back up. So now we're kind of going up my driveway here. 22.5. There's just not much left in the batteries. So I'm going to charge the batteries up, but when it's got a charge on it right now, when it's got a load on it right now, it's, you know, it's getting down to 22, which is pretty much should be zero on a 24-volt battery. All right, I want to thank everybody for watching. Be sure to like this video, give me some comments, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We'd love to have you, and we'll see you guys next time.